So welcome everybody. We are super excited for our first presentation of our second day of our second annual career fair. So we're super excited to have Dr. Jeremy Ramos here to speak with us. So Dr. Jeremy, I'm going to send it over to you.
Thank you, Eva Marie. Hi, everyone. Jeremy here. Thank you, Mr. Kihas, for the invite for setting this up. It's actually pretty cool. I've never done this before, and I wish when I was in high school, something like this happened. As too often, I think with students, they just kind of don't know which career to go into or if they want to go into college of some sort, so or at least have a direction of what to do. And so I was in that boat of, I don't know what I want to do. All I did was play football and had no career. So it took a little later in life for me to decide, but my chosen career is started off in career counseling. So I worked with Mr. Kihas in San Jose as a career counselor for a vocational not rehabilitation, but a vocational training school for students 16 to 24 years old trying to get into a career. And through that process, I was able to get my master's degree in school counseling. So that helped to not only broaden my experience, but also help the students that I was working with, just kind of with the chosen career, but also behavior modification, assessment planning, goal setting, what have you, right? Just have a full slate of here's the possible outcomes. Here's part A, plan A, or plan B, plan C. Here's your route that you can choose. So really quick, I wanted to share my video. I have a little presentation, just kind of with some information.
And I made you co-host, so you should be able to share. There we go.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So if any of you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or just butt in. So vocational rehabilitation is my title. I work with the County of San Mateo here in the Bay Area. And the County of San Mateo offers a lot of services for residents, but particularly in my department is vocational rehabilitation. And what is vocational rehabilitation? Vocational rehabilitation is also known as VR. Let me set this up. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, so it's also known as VR. Voc Rehab is a process which enables persons with functional, psychological, developmental, cognitive, and emotional disabilities, impairments, or health disabilities to overcome barriers to accessing, maintaining, or returning to employment. So essentially what that means is my job is we get referrals to help individuals who are looking to get back into the working world. So individuals such as someone who might be homeless, who's receiving county services, someone who's has mental health issues, and they're trying to find their way back into employment. So they use the county services, vocational rehabilitation counselors, to help them get through a work assessment program. So we have a full slate of myself, job developers, and a job coach to help an individual to go through each step of the process to finish the work assessment program, get a job, maintain the job for 3 months, but also retain the job for self-sufficiency after 3 months. And so there's a whole wraparound services regarding around that. And that's what vocational rehabilitation is. So again, to overcome barriers, so whatever an individual might be facing, to help maintain and retain that job that they could be getting. Now, an individual can have all types of degrees or no degrees. It doesn't matter the kind of educational scope, but at least if they have a goal in mind and a career, and career driven, we can help them get placed. And so we have partnerships in the community to help with that process. And here's some of the requirements. When I first started out, I had no idea where to go or even how to start out. So most places, companies require a master's degree, but can work with a bachelor's degree. But you typically focus on sociology, field, psychology, social services, human services, or industry-specific degrees such as rehabilitation, school counseling, vocational. right? And so if you don't go to school, you can also, through your professional experience, you can get certified. And through certification, you can go through the Commission of Rehabilitation Counselor Certification Board. And they have three categories where a person can get certified. You have to take a test, but to take a test, you have to fulfill each requirement. You can do category 1 if you're enrolled in a graduate program that's accredited by CACREP. That's a national accreditation program. If you're not, you can do a category 2, which is enrolled in a graduate program or a graduate that is not accredited. So there was kind of, I can pass on this information, but this is where I'm confused on. This is where I feel like it doesn't support category 1, where it says non-accredited by CACRP or CORE. There's a website that students can go to see what other additional guidelines that core category is about. For myself, I fit into category 3. I went through a master's program that was specific to the course field that had emphasis in rehabilitation, disability, therapy, health, employment, wellness, or even human development. So some of the graduate courses that I had to take were professional orientation and ethics and rehabilitation counseling, medical and psychosocial aspects of disability, assessment, career development theories, and job development placement techniques, case management, community partnerships, theories and techniques, and counseling. I know that's a mouthful to a lot, but if you decide to go into this career, those are kind of some of the classes that you'll be taking up. Everything is human interaction, so they want to make sure that you understand that working with the clients in the field, that you cross your T's, dot your I's, and make sure that you're ready to help an individual. Here are some of the titles that a person can, but also the job settings. Rehabilitation counselor, you can work in a rehabilitation center, private practices, senior living homes, youth centers, county and state services programs. That's where I'm at. I'm at the county. I used to work with the state, which is the Department of Rehabilitation. And so they're partners in helping individuals across the state. You can work as a substance abuse, behavior disorder, or mental health counselor. And again, some of the settings, public and private residential mental health or substance abuse facilities, even hospitals. You can also do post-secondary teacher. You can become an instructor, professor, instructor at both private and public universities and colleges, and even a therapist in a variety of settings like hospitals, clinics, and private practice. I wanted to add this as a national median salary. This isn't specific to California, but on a national scale, all the states included, this is what the US Bureau of Labor Statistics pointed out in 2018. So as a rehabilitation counselor, you can earn up to $35,000 a year, but in between a 10-year projected gap, it's projected to grow at least 10%. Substance abuse, same thing, $44,000 a year can grow up to 22%. Post-secondary teacher, $78,000 a year can grow up to 11%. And even a therapist, about $50,000 a year can grow up to 18%. Again, on a national scale, I would vouch for California in the sense that California is generous with a lot of these positions and with salary. So again, California has its own metric system on what they do, but I wouldn't deter you from, if you have a niche and you want to pursue any of these options, definitely see what California and companies alike are offering. So since I work with the county, I wanted to include some of the referrals that I receive, because I mentioned a lot of the clients that we are working with are referral based, which means I can only work with the client who gets referred to me. I can't help anyone who gets walk-ins or who comes into the facility looking for services. So referrals come from mental health facilities, CalWorks, which is California Work Opportunity and Responsibility to Kids, and that's a separate program that helps families, single parent homes, trying to help a mother or a father who has children try to get on their feet. So they'll give them money to get enrolled into a program, training program, or work program, so that they can become self-sufficient. And then we also get referrals from the correctional facilities, the sheriff's department. So what that means is someone who's coming out of jail, who's looking to start their life up again, and get rehabilitated back into the community. They'll come through our work assessment program, get evaluated, and then get assisted with a job developer to help them secure employment. So that's kind of the spiel, but I also wanted to give you guys a little nugget. Here it is. So this is a website. It's called Career Index Plus. I can pass this on to Mr. Quijas. And essentially what this is a useful tool for myself, right? This is what I use for my clients. And so let's just say I'm working with Mr. Quijas and he had, a goal in mind. This is the kind of career I wanted to get into. This application is going to help myself and Mr. Quijas understand the career, what the overview of the career, what to expect in the career, the jobs that are available. So let's, for argument's sake, put in my job title, the Vocational Rehabilitation Counselor.
Dr. Ramos, we can't see that if you're showing something. I just see the PowerPoint still.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, now I can.
All right.
Perfect, thank you.
So here it is, the Career Index Plus, and this is the home page. So I can pass this on to Mr. Quijas, and again, it doesn't require too much. You can create an account. It's just an email, and then it'll go here. So you'll put in the job title that you're looking for, right? For myself, this is my job title and the zip code. You'll put in the zip code and wherever you're located, and it'll drum up what's gonna come up. So for me, it's this with this zip code, right? With this job title. So educational guidance and career counselors and advisors. That's kind of my scope, right? And so it'll come up an overview, right? It'll give you a description, a summary, the kind of work environment, the work schedule, a state job, which is projected to grow 14.7% over the 10-year time frame. Gives you potential jobs in the area, right? So if you're eligible, you can click at those jobs and see what's available. You can see the salary, the projected salary. So for myself, this is what I mentioned, California is a little generous earlier. So on a national scale, a position like this was about a little less than $50,000 a year. You can get up to on a state level or in this area, $53,000 to $80,000 a year. So that's kind of a median, right? So how to become one. And this tool gives you everything. So it gives you a related job titles. So if it's not a vocational counselor that you're looking for, you can become an academic advisor for college. You can become a missions counselor. You can become a center director. You become a college recruiter, a dean, a director, anything specific to what you might be interested in, a guidance counselor, right? So my job down here is a vocational rehabilitation counselor. And my goal is to eventually become a dean of a university. And I'm trying to focus on student services, right? That's my goal. And so that is something that I'll be looking, right? So dean of student services, that's something that I can look into. So you get related jobs, you get related by interests, career pathways, right? Transitioning from one field to another, what that looked like if you have a career change. I mentioned earlier, you have some opportunities for jobs in the area. So here's some jobs that if I feel like, for whatever reason, I would like to apply to, I can look at this and see where it is, if I'm eligible for it, etc. So it gives you everything in a local space. The other good thing about this is it pulls from Indeed, right? Indeed is used for a lot of job searches. And so here again, Indeed jobs. And then you can do some filters, right? You can do advanced searches will help you secure maybe the job that doesn't come up right away. And then here are some training opportunities. So let's just say I'm interested and I'm not eligible and I don't have the requirements. Here's some California East Bay and San Francisco State University. I can look into their schools and see what programs they offer that can help me get the requirements that I need. Here are some licenses and certifications that I can get, right, based on the eligibility of the courses that I take, et cetera. And this is what I mentioned, is CRC, the CCRC commission, and that's the best place to get certified. And then here are your typical graphics of your total experience over 10 years, most common work-related stuff. Kind of gives you just a visual graphic. And then again, most of these jobs require a master's degree, about 93% of it. So again, it gives you the visual, not just the statistics behind it, but kind of where these jobs are going. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. And I just go with my clients, I give them the overview of everything. This is what's pulled from each of those tabs. And they really appreciate it because again, sometimes they come into these meetings with no idea on how to get started. And that's the best part, right? Telling someone you can start here. And if it's not the full scope of A through Z, you can start here and then deviate to another place. But at least you will get a sense of what you would like to do. So if you're interested, I can pass this on to Mr. Quijas and he can pass it on. But yeah, I mean, I just want to, this is a good synopsis of kind of the career that I've chosen, my steps that I've taken, what the partners that I deal with on a daily basis. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But 1 second, I also wanted to show you the commission board. Let me go ahead and move this tab. Yeah, so this is the CRC. Can you see this? Okay.
Yes.
This is the CRC board. So I was telling you to get certified. You will have to fit within these categories. And this is my category, category 3. And so if you're interested and you meet the eligibility, you would just sign up, take the test, and see when the eligibility. So here are the fees, right? So certification fee, deferral fee, re-examination fees. It gives you all step-by-step process. And here's the step right here. Step 1 through 10. Gives you the registration dates, when it ends, when you can take the exam. So if I wanted to take it, I would fit into this January 1st deadline and take the exam in July. And here gives you the reschedule policies, the cancellations, and et cetera. So I can also pass this on to Mr. Quijas, that way he can spread it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much. And attendees, you guys can all use the Q&A. There's like a button at the bottom that says Q&A if you have any questions, or you can type them in the chat. And I think Jonathan has a question because I cut him off as he was going to talk.
I always have questions, as Dr. Ramos knows. For those of you who don't know or who attended late, Dr. Ramos and I worked together at Job Corps. And he had a very unique job. And I actually, so I used to oversee the students as they were coming into the program. And I would always get him to talk to our students because a lot of the students were feeling that anxiety of like, oh my goodness, what next? A lot of them were having that hesitation feeling like, what did I just sign up for? So I always like to pick the brains of our speakers, and especially accomplished speakers. What would you say to those students, those high school students out there who are just feeling maybe that anxiety about what next, or I don't really have it figured out. Like you have some students who they're like, I know I'm going into graphic design. And then you have other students who are just like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
What bit of advice would you give to those students who are just kind of, they're feeling the anxiety of what next? They don't really know what they're interested in. What would you say to them?
I think first off, it's really taking control. I would start off by saying really can take control of your life. Your life is going to be, your next steps is going to be dictated by what you do in high school, even after. And so I would follow up with that by saying, try to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Take the leap of faith, try different things. You're not going to really know what your niche is until you really know. And so that's like me saying, Mr. Kihas asking me to try something. I'm like, no, I prejudge it. I really don't know unless I really try it. So that way I can better understand, get a better understanding from my point of view on if I like this or not, if it's for me, or if I want to go for it. So really, this is the time where you're not going to know everything in life. You're not going to know, right? Any growth is unexpected. So anytime you take a new step in life, it's going to be unexpected. So that's why I'm saying, try to be comfortable being uncomfortable. But try not to beat yourself up if it doesn't work out, right? There are many other opportunities out there. If it's not your plan A, your plan B might work. If it's not your plan B, plan C, D, and E might work. But you have to believe in yourself, take control of your life. You have to put in the work, and anything you do, you just can't get the reward, right? Like you have to enjoy the process. It takes time, and that's what makes the reward more rewarding by going through the process, going through the agony, the struggle, the I don't want to do this moments, or why did I get myself into this moments, right? But at the end, when you persevered, you're saying to yourself, I am determined. I can actually do something now, and then that gives you the push to do something else, right? True story. I'm from New York City. I'm from the inner city, single mom, 5 kids. All I said, like I mentioned earlier, all I was thinking about was sports, right? I really didn't have a career. I didn't think about anything. And so when I went through the educational experience that I went through, I was so hesitant in going for my doctorate. I didn't feel like I was capable. I didn't feel like I was worthy, let's just say, right? But I took the leap of faith. How many no's have we all gotten in our lifetime? I got plenty of no's, rejections, right? So this was just another, if I get rejected, I get rejected. It's not going to stop me, but I needed to get over that self-doubt, thinking that I wasn't capable of taking control of what I really wanted in life. And so once I did that, I wrote down my personal statement. I felt better about it, and then even throughout the program, I got the support that I was looking for to help me go through that program. And so for yourself, you're not by yourself. You take that leap of faith, you surround yourself around the connections, the people that are going to help you get through, the positive influences, and you'll see what you're really capable of.
I love it.
That was so inspiring.
I was thinking, where
so
were you when I was a high school student with that?
Yeah.
Being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. I think, do we have a question in the chat?
I don't see one specifically, but I love that career index resource that you showed us. I've never seen that. We work kind of in a similar subject matter in helping students kind of navigate. And one of the things I really liked that you said was talking about trying things and being open-minded, because we just were sort of talking about that with a student today, actually, of maybe this isn't your long-term goal, but we're just trying something out and seeing, getting your feet wet, getting the experience, all of that. And you never know where that will lead either. So I appreciate that. I kind of heard that too, as far as being, open-minded to try new things. And your story is just so inspiring. Thank you for sharing it.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just the process of, again, really taking that leap of faith. I mean, if you're gonna, everyone's in their comfort zone, right? I was too comfortable. It was kind of like, I don't know, but to my comfort zone wasn't going to get me through where I wanted to be, even if everyone can speak for themselves. So to help kids coming out of high school really understand that your first step might not be your end goal. It's just a stepping stone to your next thing. And yeah, you never know where your steps are going to take you, but you can't beat yourself up if it's not in the direction that you're hoping for immediately. Any questions?
I think we just had a couple of students just saying that, they're looking forward to getting a job too. I think these presentations have been really great at really getting our students excited about their futures. I know sometimes we think, oh, high school, it's such a long ways off before, I'm getting a job or I'm there. And then we've been doing this for a while. All of a sudden it sneaks up on you and you're like, oh, you're a senior and, it's ready to go. And so what's been really great about all of these presentations and your presentation is that, students can relate to you guys. Students can come in and say, oh, you know what, Dr. Ramos, he's somebody I get that. This is maybe something I want to do. And maybe I didn't think about that before. So yeah, we just appreciate the presentation and you coming out here. And I think those connections are what we're really looking for our students. And I think that really resonates with them and, encourages all of our students. So yeah, awesome. Thank you.
We want you back next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was getting to.
I would also just say for the students to be open-minded about which colleges or community colleges, right? It's not always the best school that you might, or your first choice. If I could do it over, I would go to community college to help me save some money. Community college, and in California, it's free for the first 2 years. It just passed. So take advantage of that. Get a certification in a vocational trade in auto mechanics or LVN, vocational nursing or something like that. So whatever you can get your hands on, if you have an interest, get that certification first, and then it's going to leap you into something bigger or better. Community colleges or even a place like Job Corps, you have to take advantage. See, I'm all for Job Corps. It's a great program. It's free. There's a residential component, but also non-residential. So whatever fits your boat, take advantage of something. Put your full mind into it, full throttle, and taking control of what your future looks like. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to come on. And yeah, I mean, if you let me know, I'll be on next year.
All right. Well, we already got it now. We're writing it in stone as we speak.
So I'll go ahead and Jonathan, send you the Career Index Plus link. So that way you can pass it around and use that.
Yeah,
that was great. Thank you.
Because we'll send out this recording to the whole school actually. And so we'll include those links with it. So that way they'll have that as they're watching the recording. So thank you so much again, Dr. Ramos, and I am going to stop our recording here.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your day.